everyone. Come on in. I'm going to be doing the Married at First Sight season 16, episode 17, a video recap of Married at First Sight. And boy, let's go ahead and get started on this episode. This week, I'm only doing one video. It wasn't a whole lot to talk about, but it was enough that I had to come on here and talk about you for a minute. Because what I want to know is, who is this man on our screen that they're calling Eris? Who is this man on our television screen who they are calling Eris? Eris must got a software update. iRobot Eris finally got a software update. It finally downloaded. It took, how long did it take? 7 weeks to download. And finally, we're able to fire him up and get him going. Is it too late, people? Is it too late? He was on the after party this week along with Kirsten and along with, who else was on there? Kirsten, Clint, and Eris were all on the after party. And he was on there telling people that Jasmine booty looked good in that lumberjack log thing. I said, who the heck is this man? Who is this? He said the attraction is turning around, people. Are we believing him? Are we believing him, or is this just some acting? Is this acting, people? Is this acting for the cameras, or are we really believing Eris? Because he says the attraction is growing. Last week, he had some sweet words to say to her, and this week, he's got even more sweet words to say to her. You know what? Whether it's acting or not, I'm happy for it because it's making Jasmine smile. I'm happy that where he was, say, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, we're not going to end the show there. At least we're going to end the show on a better note than where he started. I guess that's progress. I guess that is an upgrade on the software that got downloaded to Eris. You know, we can't always fix everything in every software version. You know how it goes. Every time there's a new version, we fix a few bugs and then they got to go back and fix the rest of them. So it looks like we got a few updates, a few fixes on Eris, and I'm loving it. I am loving it so more. It looks like he says his attraction for Jasmine is shifting. He was talking about who he missed Jasmine. I missed Jasmine. I missed Duchess. I missed the hair on the floor. The house was so quiet. I was like, good Lord. I mean, Jasmine did have to give him a little help because at first he said he just missed the hair on the floor. And she was like, what hair? He's like, you know, your hair. And she was like, oh, so you miss me? He's like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I missed you too. It was hard to get it out of him. But at least she was able to pull it out of him. And you know what? He perked up just a little bit. We still got a lot of bugs to work out. A lot of bugs. We only on version 2. We probably need to be on version of 50. But I was happy that I don't have to get on here and do another video on blasting iRobot Eris. You know what? Whatever upgrades he's done, I'm just happy I get a break this week on blasting Eris. I'm really happy about that. Jasmine was missing her man at the weekend getaway. She was happy he was coming back. He was happy he's coming back. He had a good little work event. He said he impressed the big leagues person at the job. Who knows? Or maybe there's a promotion in Eris's future. She acknowledged that he was checking on her. He was calling her. He was texting her. I'm telling you, once you program Eris, once you program him, he looks like he can make some progress. So I don't know who this therapist he was going to prior to Married at First Sight, but he needs to get rid of her because he needs to get a new therapist that's going to program some new information into him every single week so he can make progress a whole lot sooner. That's what I tell people. When you have a therapist, it's good to go in therapy. That's just the first step. But you got to make progress, people. You got to make progress. Just don't be sticking with therapists and when you're not making no progress. Give them 3 months, and if there's not significant progress, you need to move on. Find you another therapist because there's a lot of therapists out here that don't know what the hell they're doing. So don't be afraid to change therapists because your goal is to make progress. And it looks like possibly Eris was going to the wrong therapist because he has made some progress in these 8 weeks. And I'm thinking you should have been way past this point coming on Married at First Sight. But we're going to take it. We're going to take what we can get in this moment. You know, he was talking about, yeah, I saw the video on the after party. He saw the video of, you know, Jasmine climbing the lumberjack. He was like, ooh, she had them guns out. Shoot, Jasmine did have them guns out. I'm going to tell you something. I don't even know why we over here talking about why Jasmine doesn't have a nice figure. She ain't got no booty. We got to get to the point where we are not putting down, especially black women who are in shape and who are fit. Jasmine is in shape and she's fit, and she climbed that lumberjack pole really fast. She got nice arms. She got them Michelle Obama arms. I need to get them arms like Jasmine. Maybe I need to get out here and do some push-ups or some pull-ups or something to get those arms. But yet I hear a lot of people, me included, everybody, we was over here praising Kirsten. Kirsten got a little bit too much weight on her. Kirsten actually needs to lose some of that weight. So I don't know why we was over here blaming Jasmine for being skinny. She ain't got no booty. Eris talking about this kind of stuff, but then sitting over here talking about Kirsten is the best built person. No, Kirsten needs to lose some weight. Kirsten has got some extra weight on her. I know that BMI is off the chart. She ain't in the BMI range. She is not in the BMI range. And instead of telling Jasmine she needs to add some weight to her, we need to be talking about Kirsten needs to drop maybe about 15, 20. Let's be real. But they asked Eris what you need to on decision day, and he said all I really need her to do is start to speak up more, be more of herself, advocate for herself, be confident, and that's all I need. That's all you need, Eris, to say yes. All that other stuff we don't need no more. Now all you need to do is have her stand up for herself. And she said, well, I just need you to keep creating a safe space for me to do it, and I'll let it rip. Because let me tell you, in my very first review of Jasmine, before I even started getting on Eris, I actually said that Jasmine has this part of her where I think she can get the mouth. Because if you ever look at some of Jasmine's looks, she got the thoughts in her head that she might could tell you off. It just don't come out her mouth. So minute she gets comfortable, I'm pretty sure Jasmine got a few snapback lines she could deliver to Eris. I know she does, because you could look at Jasmine and tell, Jasmine got some snapback. Jasmine has some snapback on her. And as soon as she gets a little bit more comfortable with Eris, I'm quite sure she'd be willing to let it rip a little bit more. A little bit more. Just because she's a church girl, just because she's a PK kid, don't mean that she can't tell you off here and there. I believe she can. I really do believe she can. But we're going to move on from Jasmine and Eris, and we're going to move on to who the next person that really got on my nerves. So instead of talking about Eris getting on my nerves, this week I'm going to talk about Kirsten. On my nerves, on my nerves, on my last nerves. I only had 2 nerves left for this Married at First Sight. And you know who got on the last 2? Kirsten and Nicole, both of them. But we're going to talk about Nicole in a little bit. But first we're going to talk about Kirsten. Kirsten got on my last nerve because I am tired of this same old record song playing every single week. And what's the song, people, that I've been telling you every way? It's the pickiness, and I want more, and I want more, and I want more, and nothing is ever good enough. All this stuff both of them are talking about. We just need to get on the same page. Are you guys sitting there saying, what are they talking about, the same page? You know what the same page is? The same page is I need you to get on my page. That's the same page. I got a page. I want you to do what I want you to do because, of course, I'm the person that wants you to do everything all the time that I want. And because you aren't doing everything that I want all the time, you're not on my page, which means we're not on the same page. That's what they're talking about, both of them. You still got Shaq running around here talking about we got to leave the retreat early because I got another work event. Is Shaq making $500,000 a year? Is he making $500,000 a year? Because I don't understand why he don't have no vacation days that he could take off. But all of a sudden, every time he's got to do something, Kirsten's got to go run behind him and go there. I'm sick of him too. How many work events does he have where he can't go alone or he can't miss? He ain't president of the university. He is not president of the university. Everybody got sick time. Everybody got personal time off. Why can't he take any? This is what I don't know. He just wants Kirsten running up after him all the time. Once again, these two are getting on my nerve. And Kirsten over here, picky, 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 picky. I need more. I need more. I need more. She's sitting over here talking about, well, I need to talk to you more. I need to talk to you more, Shaq. Shaq said, I don't understand. We talk all the time. We up late at night talking all the time. You want to talk all through the night. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I got to go to work at 6 o'clock. Kirsten can lay in the bed till 11 o'clock because her open house don't even start till 1 o'clock. Kirsten don't even work. I know she ain't selling no houses. No wonder she's not selling no houses because she's sitting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and then probably sleeping to noon. No wonder she's selling only one house a year. Girl, get up and go to work and get to it. Why you want to be up here in the bed at 3 o'clock in the morning talking to Shaq? Do y'all know the last time I saw 3 a.m. on my clock? Do you know the last time it's got to be at least 20 years. 3 a.m. don't see me. 3 a.m. never sees me. And then when they were on the after party, she was trying to defend herself with Keisha Knight Pulliam, because Keisha Knight Pulliam even said a 3 a.m. that's late. She said, well, we don't really do it that often. Keisha Knight said, well, how long do you do it? She says, maybe only twice or 3 times we did it. You only been married 7 weeks. So that's almost like a once every other week. Once every other week, I got to stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning for you? Girl, like I said, nothing's good enough. Nothing's good enough. So if I stay up to 3 o'clock, that's not good enough. You want me up to 5. If I stay up to 3 o'clock 2 or 3 times in a 7-week period, that's not enough. You want me to do it every week, every other day. Nothing's good enough for her. No conversation is good enough, no amount of effort you put forward. She always wants more and more and more. I nailed this early in the season. I nailed it early in the season when I said pickiness. Pickiness is a way for you to crap on what people are already doing for you. Tell them it's not good enough so they can do more. And that's Kirsten all day long, every day, all day long. Nothing you do is good enough. And all she's going to keep telling you is I need more, and we need to get on the same page. Even when they was finally leaving and he was putting her stuff in his suitcase, she said, finally, you getting it without me having to ask. You see what she's saying? She said, finally, you learning to do everything for me without me having to ask. She's trying to train him. That's what she's saying. I'm trying to train you to be my slave, to do everything I want you to do for me without me having to ask. Everything. What does Kirsten do? Clint cooked all the food. Wasn't a woman in the kitchen. I'm saying we ain't gotta have to have gender roles, but there wasn't a woman in the kitchen. Clint cooked all the food, all of it. On the after party, she's talking about every time we take 2 steps forward, we take 1 step back. Basically, what she's saying is every time Shaq does 2 things for her, he forgets to do the 3rd thing. That's what she's saying, because she wants 100% perfection to do what she needs him to do for her all the time, every day, all day long. She high maintenance. She said she wasn't needy. Remember back in the early season when Shaq was going to work and he wasn't coming home, and Kirsten was complaining that he was coming home late or not coming home and what he wasn't doing. And she was talking about, I'm not really a needy person. Girl, if there is a poster, if there's a billboard in the sign of Nashville, Tennessee, and it said, who is needy? Kirsten's picture is going to be there. She is needy as heck. What is she talking about? Why does she need this much attention? Why does he need everybody to go out to all his work events? The 2 of them are getting on my last nerve. Like I said, I only had 2 nerves left for this season. Kirsten got on one of the last ones. And you know who got on the second one? Nicole. I'm sick of her too. I am so sick of Nicole as well. Now I know why Nicole was abused in relationships. I'm telling you, Nicole makes you want to curse her out. Nicole makes you want to slap her. Nicole makes you want to be mean to her because she's irritating. She doesn't know how to stop. She doesn't. She's another one that wants things her way, and she likes to run over you. She sat up there and gave her husband a whole speech and said, well, I think that you need to not do so much for others and think about yourself. But then the very next day, she basically makes the man put on a dinosaur outfit and go downstairs and do stupid stuff that doesn't even add any value to anything. So you want him to start saying no to other people, because what you really want is you want him to be able to do more and cater to you. That's what she's saying. What she's saying is, I know I'm a lot of work. I'm going to take up a lot of your energy, a lot of your time. I'm going to be taking a lot of stuff from you that I need from you. So you're really not going to be able to go around here doing stuff for other people no more, because I'm going to need it all. I'm going to need every bit of it, because I need a lot. She needs a lot. And she's irritating. She's really starting to irritate me. She's getting to the point now where she's starting to try to flip things a little bit. Because here she came into this show talking about she's never been with a man that ever gave her anything. You know, she was always the one giving and whatever. Now that she's getting used to Chris being a giver, and now she can't stop asking. She can't stop asking. She says she wants to stop asking, but she don't stop. Every time you turn around, she's trying to bully the man to give her something he feels he doesn't want to do right now. This little conversation about where they're going to live after the I do's or the decision day, she happened to say, well, there is no after decision day. No, she said there is no decision day unless we know what we're going to do after decision day. That's not true. Decision day comes first. But what she's saying is, I need to know what you're going to say on decision day. And the way she's doing it is by asking him what we're doing after decision day. See, she's trying to pretend like she ain't insecure, but she's insecure. What she's saying is, if he tells me the exact plans after decision day, then I know he's going to say yes on decision day. You see, because she sat up here all season long asking every day, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Every single day. But now that she's gotten the I love you out of him, you know what she's switching to? What she's switching to is, are you going to say yes on decision day? But she's not asking him that question. Instead, what she's asking him is, what are we doing after decision day? What are we doing after decision day? What are we doing after decision day? This whole idea about this apartment, really, it's just a convoluted way to ask the question, are you going to say yes on decision day? She ain't sneaky. She is not sneaky. Her anxiety is ridiculous. How do you get anxiety going to miniature golf? Miniature golf? We ain't even talking about a real golf course. We're talking about with 18 holes. We're talking about miniature golf. You're telling me that her need to have her way, to have things go the way she wants, is so heightened that it builds anxiety because she loses at miniature golf? The man gave her 2 and 3 extra times. He said, I don't care if you win. Here, try it again. I don't care. She still has anxiety. She still has anxiety. Ugh. This girl, she's irritating. I hope Chris doesn't become her enabler. The one thing about a person who overgives like Chris is that what can happen is he can start to enable her where she doesn't start to make improvement. You see, the men that were maybe abusing her, they did too much, but they also pushed her to do something a little bit more. If she gets with Chris and he continues to give her her way, what can happen is she can turn into the abuser. She can turn into the abuser and she doesn't make any progress. People kept thinking that Chris was a pushover. I never thought he was, but I'm gonna tell you what, he laid down the law. He did say, this is the last time we're gonna do this dinosaur outfit because I feel like an idiot and that ain't gonna happen anymore. That's not gonna happen anymore. There's gonna come a time when Chris is gonna snap on Nicole. He gonna snap on her. It may be a short little, whatever, and they get it over with, but he gonna do it because she pushes you to your limit. Because she done pushed me to my limit. Because I really like Nicole, but she has pushed me to my limit. And if I was in her presence, I would have snapped on her too. I really would have. She over here telling Chris, I'm okay with you running around talking to all your friends and go out with your friends. No, she not. The minute he does it, she gonna complain. I guarantee you. If Chris really did establish a whole network outside of her friends and everything, she would complain. She would complain. She would start talking about, oh, you're not spending enough time with me. She would complain. She lying. She is lying. I don't believe it one bit. She better get it together. She better get it together before Chris pops off on her and says something. But he'll probably hold it together because I think he really wants to be married as well. I think he's going to do what he needs to do to get to decision day. I think they're both going to say yes. But let me tell you, they have a lot of things to work on. The one thing that happened to Chris and Nicole, they didn't work on a lot of their issues during this 8 weeks. They really didn't. They're going to have a lot more work to do after the cameras are gone. But I was going to say now they don't have the experts, but the experts weren't really here anyway. But they're going to have some things to work on. And it's going to be mainly around boundaries. His boundaries with her respecting the boundaries, even when it's something he doesn't want to address. One thing I know about Chris is he avoids conflict. He doesn't like conflict. He doesn't like making tough decisions. He doesn't like any of that. So when he's putting off what they're going to do after decision day, it's not because he doesn't love Nicole. It's because he really doesn't like conflict. He doesn't like making tough decisions. That's why he's always willing to just say, you can do whatever you want to do, because he doesn't like decision making. Those things, I believe, give him a little bit level of anxiety. So they're going to have to figure out what their balance is, because when Chris doesn't really want to do nothing, he just steps all the way back. He says, I don't care. We'll deal with it when we deal with it. But that's his way of avoiding having to make the decision. But I don't believe it's because he doesn't like her. I think it's because he just is uncomfortable with that. Period. It's why he lets her win games. It's why he just doesn't care about certain things, because he would rather lose the golf tournament than to get in some type of tension with her, because he can see she's competitive. So he lets her have it. It doesn't mean he doesn't care for her. It just means he wants to avoid any type of conflict. And even when it comes to where they're going to move, where they want to move with the dogs, what house they choose, whether it's an apartment, he was trying to avoid the conflict over the decision making, not the idea that he doesn't want to live with her. That's what I really do believe. But now we're going to move on to Gina and Clint. And for the first time, we saw talk about humanity coming out of Eris. We saw some real emotions coming out of Gina. But guess what, people? Guess who the emotions was for? The emotions were for her employee. Like we said, all roads lead back to that doggone job and that salon. That the first time we see Gina really cry and show any emotion, it's over an employee. Gina has really made this job her lover, her husband, her whatever. She crying over here harder over an employee that decided to quit and go on into a new job. Girl, people is quitting jobs out here in the world every single day. How are you going to be a business owner and you crying because an employee quit because you trained them? Everybody trains employees. What is difference does that make? You going to cry every time an employee quits before you train them? You shouldn't be crying. You should be mad. That's what you should be. You should be mad. You spent all that time and she quit, but I sure wouldn't be crying no tears. You got more emotions and more feelings for an employee than you do have for your own husband or a marriage or even a relationship. Gina's backwards. Like I said, she wasn't ready to really invest in any kind of marriage. All Gina was really coming to marriage for was somebody to gas her up and tell her nice things, because that's why she don't like Clint, because Clint shows love through acts of service. Cooking, all this meal planning nice dates, activities. Gina don't care nothing about that, because Gina don't want to do nothing but sit at home, like he said, and look on her phone. Gina don't want to go out. She ain't athletic. She couldn't climb that lumberjack pole. Talking about, I'm athletic. Girl, you couldn't even get up the pole. She's not athletic. All she wants to do is sit at home, recuperate from an 80-hour week at the salon, and look on her phone, just like Clint said to her in the little said, what I want you to stop doing, looking on the phone. That's all she does. She don't have no fun in her, no conversation. And on the after party, Clint even said that she's different off the camera than on the camera, because off the camera, she barely talks, but on the camera, she tries to act like she's got some enthusiasm. She doesn't have any enthusiasm whatsoever. She's got more love, more compassion for those hairstylists and hair salon people than she does have for her own husband. And she even got more of it for those hair salon people than she has for Hank. I haven't even seen Gina kiss Hank. Have y'all seen Gina kiss Hank? She ain't kissed Clint. She ain't rubbed Hank and kissed Hank or done nothing. I haven't even really seen her pet Hank. All the love Hank gets is from Clint. That's why Clint said, I can't wait to get back home to Clint. I'm dreaming about Clint. I'm dreaming about Hank. I can't wait for Hank to be laying in the bed with me so I can hug on Hank. He can't wait to get home with Hank. Hank don't even want to be with Gina no more. Clint don't want to be with Gina, and Hank doesn't either. But she's saying, Clint don't give me no words of affirmation, because that's what I want. I want a man that's going to gas me up, tell me how wonderful I am, give me compliments. Like she said, I don't feel like no wife. Why don't you feel like a wife, Gina? Because he doesn't compliment me. He doesn't tell me how great I am. He doesn't, what else was she saying? He doesn't try to impress me. He don't fight for me. He doesn't do anything. Well, what do? You don't do nothing either. Nothing. She don't give no words of compliment, affirmation. She don't do no acts of service. What is she doing but sitting over there crying after hair salon people? I'd be mad if I was a husband or a wife and my husband never ever even showed me any emotion, but then all of a sudden some employee he had quit and he was crying over the employee. Please. Clint's a better person than me, because I would have called her out on that. I said, you got more love and more attention and more heart for your employees than you have for me, and I'm supposed to be your whole husband, but you sit over here talking about you don't feel like a wife. I don't feel like a husband either. Maybe I need to become an employee, and then maybe I can get you to care for me. Ugh. I hope, Clint talking about there's some hope and there's a scenario where we can say yes. No, it ain't, Clint. There ain't no scenario where you can say yes. Don't continue this. Do not accept this. Don't continue it whatsoever, because the only thing Gina is even saying is getting better is because Clint is not calling her not slender. That's it. That's it. Gina ain't ready to contribute to no relationship. Not at all. She's not ready to contribute a time, emotion, nothing. Not at all. Clint likes to turn up. He likes to get wild. In that hot tub, he was getting wild. He was blasting the champagne. Did y'all see the part when he started asking what's the craziest place that you've had sex in? And lordy, I thought Eris was going to take the bait. I said, oh no, that's like putting alcohol in front of a alcoholic. I hope Eris doesn't go back down the road of talking about sex again. But I don't know if he did go down the road and take the bait, if he stayed away from the conversation, or if they edited it out. But Clint was the only one talking. And let me tell you, Gina over there, she didn't like it. She didn't like what he was saying because once again, here was Clint being the life of the party, telling stories, getting all eyes on him. You know, there is a part of Clint, like I said, where he sucks up the energy in the room. In the very beginning of the season, one of the things I harped on Clint about was I said that he was selfish. I did say that. Now, I'm not fully gone with that. Clint does like to be the life of the party. He does like to be the center of attention. But he has a lot of other good qualities, I believe, that helps balance that out. But Gina is jealous of all that. Gina is jealous of Clint being the life of the party. She's jealous of his personality, his outgoing personality. And then we also hear on here, she tells Clint, I need you to dummy it down so I can understand what you're talking about. That's what she basically said. When she told Clint, when you talk, what did she say? She says, I want you to talk on my level. Well, Clint don't talk in no high intellectual, because he uses a few big words here and there. All of a sudden, Gina can't keep up. Ugh. Gina can't, you a whole business owner. You can't keep up with Clint's conversations. You mean to tell me you believe Clint is talking at a level that's PhD level to the point you can't get it? So now she's saying, oh, your level is too high up in the air. I need you to dummy down the conversation. And girl, I'm tired of Gina too. I said I had two last nerves, right? One for Kirsten and one for Nicole. Yeah, I only got two. I'm still say I only had two. That's why Gina ain't got one to get on. That's why I can't take her no more, because Kirsten and Nicole took the last two. So I ain't got one for you to get on either, Gina. We just need to let you go. But anyway, that's it, y'all. Tell me what you think. Don't forget to like my video. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to drop down in the comments and tell me what you think. Talk to you later. Bye.